Okay, good evening. This is Lori Carlavaris from Ontario, Canada, and welcoming each and every one of you, and thank you all for joining us. We've got some great stories tonight, and one of our co-hosts, who is always with us on the line, out of New York, her and her husband, Candace and Rick Paltridge. What's their story? So I know Rick Paltridge has a couple of great stories, and so does Candace, but we'll save Candace for another time due to our time constraint. But Candace, can you introduce your fabulous husband and share the story with us?
Thanks, Lori. Yeah, we'll be hearing from Brenda Oliver a little later. She has a terrific story. But first, I'm really pleased to introduce my best friend and my husband, Rick, and he's going to share his story. It's a great story because it's so common. We live here in the Northeast, and we have a serious health challenge. So maybe I can set this up by saying that Rick, we've been using the product for about 10 years, and Rick always took 2 packs. And how do you feel taking 2 packs, Rick?
I felt great. I had tons of energy until this event. It was a few years ago, like Candy mentioned. I began to feel lousy. I began to feel very fatigued. I was very tired. I had aches in my joints, and I just was not able to put things together in my head. I had like a mental fog, and it. Of course, I didn't want to go to the doctor.
No, he didn't want to go. He wouldn't go, and he didn't even realize that he was staying in bed all the time, and that when he would get up and just go back to bed. That's how much the brain fog had set in.
Now, when I went to the doctor, she did a blood work and sent it out, and when it got back, she was shocked because she found that I had not 1, but 3 tick-borne diseases. In fact, they're very serious. You can die from these things. One was, and that affects the white blood cells, and it's very similar to Rocky Mountain spotted fever. On top of that, I had babesiosis, which infects the red blood cells, and this is the one that can kill you. It's like malaria. It can be fatal. And the third that I had was Borrelia, and that's the classic term for Lymes disease. And so frequently, people are hospitalized with just this one, this last one, or ehrlichiosis. And but with Immunocal, at least I was functioning, and that's why my doctor was so amazed that I was even walking around.
Right. Actually, Rick, she said, I can't even believe that you're on your feet, because the blood work just showed how devastating this disease can be. And yet, Rick was able to function, and it was just quite remarkable.
Yeah, so what I did was she gave me antibiotics. That's all she prescribed. And I went up to 5 packs a day with the Immunocal. And immediately I began to get my energy back. I was feeling better. In fact, I felt fine about a month later. And this, again, the doctor was amazed at it because she said not only were you functioning, I mean, you were not hospitalized, and this could be very dangerous, but as I bumped up the Immunocal and went on antibiotics, I got well so quickly. She was also amazed.
Yeah, and it was kind of interesting. We just happened to go to a doctor who actually was working with a leading Lymes expert, a Dr. Horowitz, and she took a look at Rick, and she had asked what else he was taking because she said his blood work just responded so quickly. And she said in Dr. Horowitz's work, he found that the reason that people come down with so many conditions. What are some of the conditions, by the way, Rick, that...
Well, it can cause arrhythmia, arthritis, meningitis, facial nerve paralysis, a lot of serious health issues with the heart and other things.
And I think she said that, Doctor, they found that really what causes this chronic Lyme syndrome is that heavy metals from the Lyme's spirochete it causes heavy metals to build up in the joints, in the arteries, and in the brain, and causing a lot of neurological disorders. And Rick really should have been much more affected. But Dr. Horowitz has found that high levels of glutathione help to soak up those heavy metals. And people who have high levels of glutathione, the symptoms that Lyme's can cause it dissipates. And I think when she realized that Rick was using Immunocal, which raised glutathione, she said, that's what's happening. That's what the research is showing. So it was really a serious thing, but Rick's improvement was amazing on Immunocal. So, Rick, I guess we would say that if you know anyone with Lyme's, and we happen to live in the heart of Lyme country, we would recommend that they go on Immunocal. But I think there was one more thing that happened, is that when Rick went back for the second blood work to see how he was doing, Rick, do you want to talk about?
Right. She noticed something that surprised her. She said, does anybody in your family, is your family unusually high in high-density lipoprotein, or HDL? She asked me that, and I said, well, no, but, of course, when you take Immunocal, it builds up the HDL, and the HDL has beneficial effects to the body. It actually picks up cholesterol in the blood and deposits it into the liver, and then that cholesterol is expelled from the body. And in doing this, it protects the body from hardening of the arteries and heart disease. So she was amazed at my HDL being so high. She said a normal person would have 40, well, the level is 40, whatever it is. But my HDL was 127. She said, this is off the charts. And then she said to me, you are never going to get a heart attack. She said, and then she added, you're never going to get a stroke. And then she added on top of that, you're going to live forever. Well, I tell you, she was so impressed with the numbers that she became an Immunotech distributor.
Right. It's Immunocal by the numbers, and really the results are there. It's just amazing. In fact, it's one thing that we do find is that people who go on Immunocal, very often their HDL really is high. It goes up. Rick's is extraordinary, but it's quite common to see numbers 80 and above. My dad, who is going to be 90, his HDL was 80. So it's a wonderful side effect of Immunocal. So anyway, Rick, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we may invite you back again.
Okay.
Our second experience is a wonderful one, and it's from Brenda Oliver. Brenda, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, wonderful. Well, Brenda is a beautiful woman. If you meet her in person, she's just beautiful in every way. Brenda is an artist. She's a muralist, a decorative painter. And if you ever listen to her voicemail, it'll say her messages, I'm away from my phone. I may be on a scaffold or a ladder. She's very much the Michelangelo. She's up there painting ceilings and painting walls. She can make them look like the Sistine Chapel if you want. She's just wonderful. She's also a musician. She plays the guitar. So all her work is done with her hands. She's very kinetic. So this brings up her personal story. It was about 8 years or so, I guess, Brenda, when you were in your early 40s that you started experiencing pain. And can you tell us what happened, where the pain was, and what was going on?
Well, I was experiencing joint pain. I was getting a lot of nodules coming up on my joints. It does run in my family. My hands started to ache very much. My knees. I'm up and down ladder, so I could really feel it. By the end of the day, I was in so much pain. My daughter would sit down next to me and say, "Mommy, can I rub your hands?" And she would be so kind and just rub gently my hands, until I said it was okay. But she would do it nightly, and which was very sweet. But I was really getting concerned because it was affecting my work, my guitar playing, and when this is your livelihood, using your hands and your legs, you get pretty frightened about it.
Right. So basically, there were so many areas of your quality of life that were being affected. You also not only had the arthritis being built up in you and getting worse. you also had another thing that was happening. You were developing severe allergies.
Yes, I think it started because, as a painter, you are involved with a lot of toxic chemicals, and I think you lower your resistance, and I started getting severe allergies, enough to where I would have to go to the doctor to find out what was going on. I found out I was allergic to a lot of things. I had to get rid of animals that we loved. We cried about that because I had to get rid of my dog and my cat. And my husband was very heartbroken over it, but I couldn't even visit people's homes if they had animals because of the allergies. And so I went to the doctor, and of course, they only mask things. They want to give you medicine, and my doctor was, he knew very well that I was very into natural products. So he would say, well, you're going to have to take lots of ibuprofen, and as it progresses, then we're going to have to see what
which is a serious treatment in itself, long term.
Yes, it is. In fact, it affected my stomach, which eventually I started to get rosacea because of the stomach lining being eaten away. So that was another problem.
Right. So in other words, you had the allergies, you had arthritis, where basically your livelihood was being threatened. Your stomach lining was being eroded. You couldn't sustain taking the drugs that they wanted to put you on for these things. So what happened? What happened? You got introduced to Immunocal, and how did that happen?
Well, I have a very good friend, our mutual friend, Gloria Nieves, who I love dearly. And she was always into natural products. And she told me, you have to take this stuff. Just take it. And I was
so
like,
she didn't go ahead and explain what glutathione is and how it does and give you all the studies?
She did after that. But at first she was just saying, just get online, order it, get on it. And I was like, okay, because Gloria, I admired, and I knew she knew her stuff. So then she started explaining to me what it was, what glutathione was. It made a lot of sense to me. When somebody makes sense and I understand the science behind it, I started taking. I said, okay, I'm going to take it.
Right. Yeah, you like natural things to begin with, so that was a plus in your favor. You were a little bit prepared because you tended to not like anything that was synthetic or drugs.
Yes.
So that was in your favor. Now let me ask you this: so Gloria started you, and how many packs did she suggest? Because you're a young woman. You were only in your just turning 40.
Yeah, I took 1 pack a day to begin with, and then I started actually feeling worse,
you got worse.
I got really upset.
So did you think Gloria knew her stuff anymore?
I called her and I said, Gloria, what is this stuff you're giving me? I feel worse. I'm not feeling better. And she said, don't worry, calm down. I want you to take more. And I went, what? And she explained to me.
The reverse, right?
Yeah. She explained to me how I was detoxing, which made sense to me. And that my body was going to get rid of the toxins and that I would start feeling better. So I said, okay.
And she told you to take more water, too, right?
I'm sorry?
She told you to take more water, too.
Yes, and drink lots of water. I wasn't drinking enough water. And she even, for the first couple of weeks, she told me to take 3. So I was just a little shocked because it wasn't to take less, I was to take more. So I did, and I'm very happy I did.
Right. So let's talk about your results then. So you took that leap of faith even when things were going backwards, you thought, and then when did you start seeing results?
Well, I really didn't even realize I was getting results until one day I was sitting on the couch and my daughter said, Mommy, do you want me to rub your hands? And I went, wow, my hands don't hurt. I was totally shocked because I didn't even realize that I hadn't been in pain.
Mm-hmm.
And it just blew my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And then I eventually started seeing my allergies start clearing up, which was an amazing thing. And what's funny about that is that I have a whole box up above my refrigerator of medicines I haven't even pulled down in like years. And somebody came over to the house and wanted an antihistamine, and I pulled it down, and they had all expiration dates of 2005. And I laughed.
Yeah. You know, it's a funny thing. It's we forget where we came from many times. I really like when I introduce someone to Immunocal is to tell them make a little diary, write things down, just put it somewhere how you felt.
It's
because
so
it's
important
amazing,
to do that.
Yeah, how we forget where we started from. So let's talk then about what your life is like now. You told me that you never get sick.
The last time I got the flu, and I remember it clearly, it was about 5 years ago. I woke up with a headache and the fever aches, and I couldn't get out of bed. I had a high fever, and so it was a Thursday, and I took 2 packs in the morning and then 2 packs at night. I couldn't eat. That was the only thing I was taking in. I woke up Friday, did the same thing. Saturday morning, I woke up early. I took 2 more packs, went back to bed. I got up at 11 o'clock. My daughter was sitting on the couch. We had just taken a class on how to make homemade ravioli. And she said, wow, I wish we could make homemade ravioli today. I really feel like doing that. And I said, we can. I feel fantastic. I made a big pot of sauce. We made homemade ravioli, and I fed 15 people that night for dinner. And that was the last time I've gotten the flu. I mean, I have not been sick in years.
Right, and now you're you can have pets. You're still up on the scaffolding.
I got another cat, and I had two dogs for a while, and I can visit my friend up in South Carolina who has 2 German Shepherds and 2 cats, and I don't have any problems at all with allergies, and I'm just so happy that compared to my life the way it was, it's like a fresh start.
Thank you, Brenda. Thank you for telling us about that. So let's just go on. Let's skip forward to just today, and let's talk about some of the added benefits now. One thing you told me that you do, your energy is amazing. We went up together to the barbecue in Montreal.
That was awesome.
You got the room at the Chateau where Immunocal put you up. You also got the $500 bonus. And when you were there, you were jumping up and down 2 feet in the air, like I think it must have been 50 times. So what do you do? Well, you exercise amazingly. What is it you do, you said?
Well, I'll tell you. I went on MyForm. I lost 15 pounds. I started boot camp, which anybody knows that's very strenuous. I ran a mile today, did about 150 jump ropes 3 times. My knees do not hurt anymore. My energy level, everybody always says, I don't know what you take, and I say, I do, and I'm going to tell you. And without Immunocal, there's no way I could be doing what I do today.
Mm-hmm.
And very happy about
I know. I can hardly keep up with you. So the thing is then, so once you did that, people look at you, they see your energy, you're able to talk, and I know that one of the things that you've done is shared your experience with them, and you've helped many people to be helped by Immunocal. And there's one story that you told me, a wonderful one about a child with autism who improved dramatically, and also a woman with advanced breast cancer who just recently went from a cancer marker of 60 to 20 within 1 month.
Yes.
How does that make you feel?
That makes me so happy because that's the whole reason I got behind this business and this company was for the results of people getting healthy. And I'm elated when I hear someone who's taking it that is actually, taking it and getting such great benefit from it. And I just want to keep on telling everyone that, this is the product that really is backed by science and will help people.
You've worked hard, and you've introduced many people, and like Gloria and our other colleagues, we just enjoy sharing this wonderful product. So thank you, Brenda, and look forward to seeing you in a month.